Janum Deep, any more questions? Okay. All right, let's get started, everyone. First, I want to share the screen that has all of, I'm not writing anymore. I can take off those. Somewhere on this board, where'd you go? Oh, found it. Okay. So facts of the case that we talked about yesterday, or actually that you guys researched yesterday, it was an immigration case. I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick facts of the case and the questions. What were the questions? What were the legal issues? We're going to talk about that. Okay. So we did Padilla versus Kentucky yesterday. So Joe Padilla was indicted by a Kentucky grand jury on counts of trafficking in marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia, and operating a tractor trailer without a weight and distance tax number. Okay, so we have some crimes here, right? Some crimes. On advice from his lawyer, he entered a guilty plea. His lawyer advised Jose Padilla to enter a guilty plea, so he did, with respect to the 3 drug charges. Okay, in exchange for dismissal on the final charge. What was the final charge? So let's take a look. He had 3 charges of drugs right here. And then this one right here, operating a tractor trailer, was the final charge. So his lawyer advised him to plead guilty to the first 3. But of course, with an exchange for something. So the exchange for that is my client will plead guilty if we can get the last charge dismissed. And the last charge is operating a tractor trailer without a weight and distance tax number. Okay, which is not a crime. All right, so he subsequently filed for post-conviction relief. He was arguing this. He was arguing that he was misadvised about the potential for deportation as a consequence of his guilty plea. Okay, so his whole argument was that his attorney misadvised him. And under the 6th Amendment, right to counsel, every citizen has a right to a good counsel, which means a good, fair, and a good counsel who will actually lead you in the right direction, right? A counsel that does not breach any of their codes, ethical codes, things like that. Okay, that's what the 6th Amendment promises. Okay, well, here Padilla was saying that no, he didn't lead me, he misadvised me, misrepresented what I wanted to say, right? So the Kentucky Court of Appeals reversed Mr. Padilla's conviction and remanded the case for an evidentiary hearing. Okay, so it did make it to the appeals court. They reversed it, but remanded it back. Okay, on appeal to the Kentucky Supreme Court, the court, relying on its decision in Commonwealth versus, they used this case right here as a case on point. That's how they came up with their decision. Reversed the Court of Appeals. Okay, it held that the collateral consequences of advice by counsel is outside the scope of the guarantee of the 6th Amendment's right to counsel. They reversed the order, which means that the attorney did not violate his 6th Amendment rights. His, meaning Jose Padilla's 6th Amendment rights. He didn't violate them. Because why? The reason they gave was it's outside the scope of the guarantee of the 6th Amendment's right to counsel. And if you don't know what that 6th Amendment is, you might want to go read it. And it is outside the scope. Okay, it reasoned that counsel's advice on the consequences of a plea with the respect to immigration is not required and therefore cannot constitute ineffectiveness. Okay, so basically what they're saying about the 6th Amendment is the counsel gave some advice there. Okay, he just given advice on the consequences of a plea. So you plead guilty, this, and this, may happen, right? Remember, he's not really citing the law at this point. He's giving him advice. Well, I've seen this happen, but then I've seen this happen. There's nothing wrong with an attorney giving their client, some insight of what might happen, the goods and the bads, the pros and the cons, right? That's what happened here. So kind of what Padilla was thinking was that, he misguided me. This is the reason why I'm in the trouble, right? I'm in this trouble is because he misguided me. If I would have went a different route, I probably would have been better off, right? Okay, but we have to know what law did the attorney misrepresent? What law did the attorney not use correctly? That's a whole different situation. Here they found that there was no law broken and there was no Sixth Amendment violation at all. Okay, so that is the actual facts of the case, just a couple facts. The questions they looked at to come up to this conclusion, everyone, was, is the mandatory deportation that results from a guilty plea to trafficking in marijuana a collateral consequence that relieves counsel of an affirmative duty to advise his client per the guarantees of the Sixth Amendment?